All right, good morning. Yeah, I think we're all kind of stiff today because of the cold, maybe. I don't know. We'll take it easy. I I am going to see a guy, Corey, Dr. Corey. He's a chiropractor, and he owns Thrive, and it's yeah. So I'm hoping that it helps with my back. I re-injured my back, I don't know, 3 weeks ago or something, and have a lot of rhodopathy or whatever my husband calls it. But so we'll see. Hopefully he zapped me yesterday. He has this new machine, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah. hmm Good. Yeah. Good to know. I've heard good things about it, so we'll see. Well, anyway, should we talk about yoga a little bit? So we've been working through the yamas and now the niyamas, and just um, kind of reviewing for a lot of us. But I think it's always a good review for me. And the one we're on this week is Santosa, which means contentment. And I think that's so appropriate this time of year, because you think, oh, I'm going to be happy when I have all my presents purchased and wrapped, or I'm going to be happy when my family gets here, or I'm going to even be happy maybe when I lose that 5 pounds I've been gaining over the holidays, or whatever it is. But yogic theory tells us we should be happy right now and appreciate what we have right now in the moment. So we're going to work on that today. So please close your eyes, turn inward for a few moments, and tune in to your breath. And perhaps slow it down a bit. Encourage it to be a little fuller and deeper. And just enjoy being in your skin this morning. Just watching your breath. And please bring hands to heart center. I believe when you're happy and content, no matter what's happening, that it's much easier to notice the beauty and the grace that's always around us, within us and within others. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and just sit up nice and tall and make some shoulder rolls. Almost got my earpods out. Good, and then go the other direction. Got these cracking noises going on. I don't know about you guys. Good, and then just fold forward. Check in with your your hips. And then coming on up, bring your feet out in front. Flex your feet. They're a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring your right hand off to the side. Reach around to the little toe side and then just do a side stretch. So think long side body on the left side. Tuck your chin around your back and step on the gas. So stretch out all up and down that left side of your body. Oh, that feels good, right? And then come on up and switch. Remember how content you feel when you breathe. So don't forget to breathe in every pose. And come on up. Cross your legs the opposite way that you had them. Got to think about that, right? And then fold forward again. And then come on up. Come to all fours. Take off a layer. And just start by doing some figure eights. Kind of move your hips and your shoulders in the opposite direction. Kind of linger where you feel you need to. Kind of warm up every joint. You're doing your wrist joints, your shoulder joints, your hip joints. And then switch directions. Make you think again. And then pause and just work through some cat cows. So go with your breath today, because I really want you to focus on Santosa with the breath in each yoga pose. Sometimes we get so into it, we forget to breathe. And one more time. When you're evened out, pause with a flat back. Swivel so your knees stay where they are. Swivel the left foot to the left side. Stretch your right leg long and come up to a side plank position. Grounding that right foot down, keeping the rib cage drawing back, lengthening the back of your neck, and then maybe stretch the arm by the ear. And come on down to switch sides. So swivel the right foot, stretch the left leg, come up side plank, being very mindful to stay connected through the core, lengthening all the way through the top of the head, and stretch the arm by the ear if that feels good for you. And come on down. Go ahead and take a child's pose. And for this child's pose, I'm going to have you walk your hands a little closer and around your back. So it's like you're in a cat child's pose. And then walk your fingers forward, come up on fingertips, and get the full stretch. Really tapping into the breath, not forgetting that part. And then come on up to all fours again. And this time extend your right leg off to the side so the foot and the knee are in the same plane. And again, think sits bones back and apart, rib cage back, long spine, and then just kind of move forward and back. You can linger where it feels like a really yummy stretch if you want to. You get to decide. And then bring that knee in and stretch the other leg out. And just set up your spine just the same way. So sits bones back and apart. Draw the low belly up, rib cage back, and then move. See how that feels. Feels like a safer stretch. I like to have all parts of my foot grounded. And then just notice do the kneecap and toes point the same direction. Good. And then unwind. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders. Curl your toes. Lift on up to down dog. First down dog, just kind of feel it out. Your armpits nice and hollow, the rib cage back. Nice long back of neck. Sits bones back. And now tuning into your breath again. On your inhale, come forward to plank. And exhale, push back, down dog. And do that 2 more times. Keep the length through the top of the head. And then once you get back to down dog, lower your knees again. Crack, crack. Swivel your left foot to the left again. Extend the right leg, come up to that side plank variation. And this time, I want you to feel super long and strong in your core. Stretch the arm by the ear, but maybe lift the right foot up off the ground. See if you can. Nice. Cold outside, but we're warm in here. Good. Come on down and switch sides. So right foot swivels, left leg long, side plank variation. Maybe lift the leg. Really have to stay super long and strong in your core. And come on back down. And child's pose one more time. This time get off your wrist, stack your hands under your forehead, if you will, and breathe. And then go ahead and slide all the way forward onto your bellies, hands by your chest. Press your feet down, lengthen, long side body, head of the arm bones back, but rib cage back. And then isometrically pull the hands back as you lengthen and come up to a little baby cobra. Really feeling your breath. One more breath. And lower down on the exhale. Push back to all fours. I'm going to encourage you to grab your blocks and bring them under your hands. And then just step your right foot forward. You can adjust your knee where it feels good. Hug the heel and the knee towards each other. Bring your hands to your front thigh. Just want you to enjoy a stretch in your hip flexor. So you want to stay really strong in your core. Your hips stay square, but then maybe bend a little deeper than you usually do, just stretching everything out. Really feel all four corners of your foot, your right foot, knees. I always say heel, knee, hip are in the same line, both sides. Good, and then come out, straighten the right leg. You can use the blocks if you want. You have really tight hamstrings, hips above the left knee. Flex the foot to start. Draw the right leg into the socket and just lengthen out your spine over the leg if it feels good. Everything's still in alignment, and maybe stretch the toes if that feels towards the floor, if that feels like a good stretch. Really deep on my ankle, but whew. Good, and then bend back into the front knee. Grab the right block and bring it to the inside of the right foot, and then just wiggle that foot out. And then just make sure your hands on the blocks are kind of right in line with your shoulders. So it feels like your right leg's an outlier. Kneecap and toes point same direction. Think long spine and maybe lower the blocks. You can encourage your knee to come off to the right side if you want. Just check to see your hips are still square. You're really encouraging your rib cage to stay back. Low belly draws up, but sits bones stay back. Humble pose. And if you want to, you can lose the blocks and come all the way down. It's your choice. Let's see what happens. Always takes a few breaths here to find Santosa. Because humble pose is very humbling. And then making your way back up. Hands on the blocks, you can come back. Have the block on the outside of the foot, curl the back toe under, come up to a deep lunge. And just really feel, give yourself a moment in deep lunge to feel that back leg super engaged, the heel nice and high. Good, and then step back to down dog on the blocks. And extend the left leg and step it through on the other side. Lower the back knee. Square everything up, connect, hands to the front knee. Lift up. And then just using your breath, see how good it feels to go a little deeper. Just go to where it feels like a nice stretch, but the hips still stay square. All four corners of the front foot grounded, especially the ball of the foot. It's easy to feel it in the heel, right? I think big toe mound, little toe mound. Good, and then slide the hips back for that runner's lunge stretch. Heel, knee, hip, sits bone, all in the same line, both sides. Draw the leg into the socket. Little baby bend in the left knee, flexing the foot. And then you can stretch deeper, maybe stretch the toes, your choice. Whatever feels good. Good, bending back into the front knee. Bring that left block to the inside. Wiggle the foot out. My toes point out a little bit because that's where my knee is. And just lower down. Everything's in a line. Hips are square. Spine long. Humble pose. So Santosa is really about finding that contentment, even when you're in a tough spot, like humble pose. And you can do that by just asking yourself, what can I learn from this situation or this pose? About in a pose, it's more about your physical body. In a tough situation, it's more about your emotional body. You can stay calm and content. Always works much better. You can stay with your breath. It always works much better. And come on out. Bring that foot back in so the block can come to the outside. Lift the back knee. Pause in deep lunge. Just feeling that position. Back leg super engaged. And then step back, down dog. Then the right leg, step it through. It's easier with blocks, right? And step forward, forward fold. So even here, I want you to just take a moment to find a place where forward fold feels really good. You don't go too deep, but you're challenging yourself. Just stay with your breath. And then for this, I want you to put a baby bend in your knees and then just roll up, starting with your low back, one vertebra at a time to come up to standing. Oh, we're getting warmer, right? Good. Step back on your mat so that you aren't going to trip on your blocks, because we're going to do a little standing pose. So stand on your right foot, lift your left heel, find a spot to focus your eyes on. You can just use your arms however you need to, and lift your left knee. Just notice all the little adjustments your standing leg makes to help you balance. Think core. Good, and release. Nice. Switch sides. So just go slow so that you can really notice and feel and appreciate what your body does to help you balance. I like to flex the foot that's lifted, because then I think I can extend down from each of the four corners to the floor. It feels better. Good. And then release. I'm pulling out of it. switch back to the first side. The second time is always easier. So lift the knee. And this time I'm going to give you the option of turning the knee out and coming to tree pose. Remember to breathe. Santosa in the pose. Don't panic. If you have to come out, or if the wind's blowing you around, don't panic. You just kind of see what you can learn from it. Good release. Bring the foot back forward and down. Switch sides. Go slow. And turn the knee out if you want. Find tree pose. Usually if you tap into the core and your breath, it helps you stay more stable. I like to find bone to bone with foot and leg. One side always is different than the other. Bring the knee forward and down. Good. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Feel really grounded. I read a quote by Virginia Woolf. She said something about staying grounded, but still being able to flow. And it sounds really yogic, right? I don't know if she was a yogi or not. So grab your left wrist with your right hand and arch. You can let your hips kind of sway to the left if you want. Shoulders and hips stay square to the front. And then come on back up and switch. My shoulders always want to face the floor. I want you to keep them square. Good. And come back up. And release your arms. Mosey on up, back up to the front of your mat between the blocks. Now we really are, we're going to stay grounded, but we are going to flow a little bit. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam 3 times. I really feel the strength in your core. And then on your next exhale or inhale, step your right foot back to deep lunge. Ground that back foot down and walk your blocks to the right so you're centered. I really want you to feel grounded through the right foot and the left foot. The left foot stays forward and then maybe walk out for a down dog lunge. You don't have to use the blocks if you don't want to. I like to give that option. It feels kind of nice. Get more support. You can really get your armpits lifted. Feel like you're down dog in your core, but yet get a deep stretch. Feel that back foot super grounded. One more breath. Walk back to deep lunge. Step forward and switch. So left foot back, ground it down. Walk the blocks. Back foot super grounded. Right foot super grounded too. Bend deep into the right knee. Mine came kind of out. Good. You guys look good. I can see you in this direction. Couple breaths. And then please unwind. Turn the back heel up. Just set the blocks off to the side and step back to a downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, come forward to plank. And exhale, lower down. Cobra when you're ready. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Just grab the blocks and bring them in front of you so that your wrists are right under your shoulders on the blocks. Good. And then just put a little baby bend in your knees. Think, I want to send my sit bones back and apart, but draw my low belly up and my rib cage back. So I feel really lengthened. Then bring your right hand to your hip and do a little twist. Try not to change the position of the legs. Just feel the stretch in the midsection. Good. And then unwind. Reconnect if you let go of anything. Left hand to the hip and twist that direction. And please unwind. You can slide the blocks back by your feet. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Reach up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And just pause there for a moment. Close your eyes. Find a little contentment. Or do you still feel super grounded? But you're still flowing with your breath. And next inhale, stretch up again, open your eyes. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step your right foot back first, ground it down, and make your way up to a warrior two position. Add the arms when you're ready. Feel both feet super grounded, especially that right foot. I always have to remember, press that one down. And not just the inside edge, but the outside edge. And then bend a little deeper into your left knee. Make sure it's tracking straight. Gorgeous, you guys. Quite the warriors this morning. Good, and then either elbow to the knee or you have a block there, Parsva-Konasana. Take your time. As you transitioned, did you still feel grounded through the right foot? Lift your arch a little bit. Sit bones are still back, your rib cage is still back. Long back of neck. Stretch the arm by the ear again. Feel really long through the top of the head. And then please touch down. Turn the back heel up. Step back, down dog. Extend the right leg, step it through. Deep bend. Ground the back foot down. Make your way, warrior two on the other side. Beautiful. Ground that back foot down. If you're connected all the way up your spine. I like to keep a baby bend in the back knee because then I can keep this hip crease back and I can really check in with my core, bend a little deeper. You guys can do it. And then either elbow to knee or to the block or to the floor. Parshvakonasana. Uttita. Parshvakonasana. Rib cage is back. Heart turns inward. I like to feel the knee and the arm really connected to help support each other. Stretch the arm by the ear. Still flowing with your breath. Every inhale, you feel connected. Every exhale, lengthen out and reach for the block. Turn the heel up. Lose the blocks for a moment. Step back, down dog. And I'll give you the option. You can take child's pose here, or we'll do a little vinyasa flow. So inhale to plank. Feel your whole hand connected, lower down. Cobra. Lower. Downward facing dog. Step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, leap all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Keep going, inhale, stretch up. Feel that groundedness. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. We're going to Prasarita Padottanasana. So if you want your blocks for that, you can use them. So step your left foot back, ground it down, and then walk your hands to the left till you're in the middle and turn your right foot out. And then just see, am I really grounded through all parts of my foot? Can I encourage my arch to lift a little bit? To the kneecaps and toes point the same direction. Am I really engaging my core? And then maybe fold a little deeper. When you've got all that, feels nice, right? And then we're gonna do the same thing we did in the forward fold. So bring your hands under your shoulders. And if you need the block, or you can come up on fingertips. Think sits bones back, maybe a little baby bend in the knees. Sits bones back, low belly up, rib cage back, long back of neck. Bring your right hand to your hip and twist. Feels totally different with wide legs. Try not to allow anything in the low body and in the core to change, just the twist. And then unwind, twist to the other side. And then unwind and fold forward again. You can sway forward and back, see, oh, I'm still grounded for all parts of my feet. You can feel it better when you sway. And then to come out, walk your hands back towards your right foot as you turn the right foot out, turn the left heel up, deep lunge and step back, downward facing dog. And again, option to take child's pose, or you can do the vinyasa with me. So plank to the floor, cobra, and back down. And you can either do push-up to down dog or down dog. Up and down dog. And we're gonna do side plank. So everybody come to down dog. And if, Mary, if you wanna do your one side on your elbow, yeah, you know how to, yeah. So the key to Vasisthasana, side plank, is to keep your hand in front of your shoulder a little bit, and also to make it feel really long and strong. So if you need to step your foot forward, so when you do, you can press down and keep your hips lifted, that helps. Or you can do the variation where your feet are wide and you just swivel both heels to the right and transition. So you decide which one you're gonna do and go ahead and go for it. And then you can stack the feet if you want. And come on out. Good, and come on down to your knees for a minute. So if you're doing the, I like it if you start, I'm gonna turn this way. So watch me for a second. So if I'm doing that variation where I have my feet apart, I swivel both heels, and then I can set up. I can feel really strong. So I'm trying to get on the bottom of my left foot and the inside edge of my right foot, but I'm trying to ground both feet down. And then it feels a lot more stable. And then you can always move to stack. But you have to be able to get rib cage back, shoulders on back, and broaden. Okay? So try the other side, downward facing dog. And you can always step the foot up if it feels like your hips are gonna go down, do it. So swivel both heels to the left. Yeah, and then see about bringing the right hand to the hip. Yeah, there you go, Julie. Yeah, nice. Lengthen through the top of your head. And come on down, take a child's pose. Nice, you guys. And look up here, I'm gonna make you do it one more time. And I'll give you the option when you transition. So I'm gonna come to side plank and hopefully feel really strong, and then maybe lift the top leg. Woo, wild thing, kind of a variation. So come to down dog. Try it. I don't know. Never done it on box, but it might. Swivel both heels to the right. And if you want to stack, you can before you come up. Yeah, sorry, Mary. It's hard on shoulders. And lift the top leg. Woohoo! Good job. It's fun to play. Good, and come on down. Take a break, child's pose, or whatever Just sitting on your heels feels good. You can do that. You know that you're really engaging your core. You can lift that top leg, right? Just be very mindful that when you come up for the second side, that your hand is slightly in front of your shoulder because you don't want to get unstable in that shoulder area. So that's why I like to start in down dog. So let's do the other side. Everyone, down dog. Little toe side of the left foot. Right foot on top. This isn't the same side we just did, right? Yeah. That's it. And then see, wow, am I strong enough? Can I lift that leg, lengthen through the top of your head? Oh. One side always feels different. Good, come on down. And come forward to all fours. Just do one or two cow cats. And then last little pose this way is I want to do pigeon prep for your hips. So I like to start from down dog, but if you'd rather, you can start from all fours and just bring your right knee clear up behind your right wrist and maybe even to the outside of it. Yeah. And then lower your back knee, bring it wider, Mary, but bring your knee wider to this side of the mat. There you go. And then check. I always have to check, am I heel, my knee, and my hips lined up on both sides. Hug the knees towards each other to keep your hips square. Feel really long in your spine and then maybe lower down. Don't just dump into that hip. Think, I'm really just trying to get a good stretch feeling by hugging the knees towards each other. You can always walk the left knee back further if you want more stretch and if you want your shin more parallel, but your hips still stay square that way. And just breathe into it. If you're having knee issues, you can do this on your back and just do baby cradle. Yeah. Are you okay doing that? Sure. She's like, grounded but flowing. Content, Santosa, where we want to be. Please unwind. I like to bring my hands under my shoulders, lift my back knee, and then I can just step back to down dog. See, you weren't stuck. And switch sides. So left knee comes clear wide. Kind of an outlier again. Your front leg, the hips, and the heels. Just on your right side line up. Hips are square. Hug knee to knee. Lengthen your spine. Rib cage back, low belly draws up, lengthen out. Come down. You decide you want more stretch, you can always just kind of press your right toes down, walk your right knee back a little more. And breathe into it. Three more sweet breaths. And then unwinding, downward facing dog. And come back and give you a spa dog treatment. Okay. And then everybody come on down and transition to your backs, however you can get there. Good. And bring your feet nice and wide, with the knees bent, arms in cactus. And just do some windshield wipers. You can bring the arms to T if that's better for your shoulders too. So you get to decide how fast or how slow you go. I'm gonna linger on one side because it feels really good. But you can go faster with your breath if you'd like. Or just do it the slow way like I'm doing. And then bringing both knees up, if you're evened out. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open for Supta Baddha Konasana. Laying down cobbler's pose. I like to have my hands either on my thighs or on my belly for this position. It's really finding a little contentment with the breath. Allowing gravity to do the work. Not really trying to force anything here. But do notice that you have a small curve in your low back. So natural curve. Try and let your glutes relax a little bit. And then bringing the knees back up. Shift the feet so they're right under the knees. Hands by your hips. And lift up to Setu Bandha, bridge pose. So just lift the hips. Hug the heels towards you. Send the knees towards your toes, even though they don't really move. It's just the action that feels good. Lift your heart. One more breath. And lower down. Hug your knees in all the way towards your chest now. And just kind of roll side to side, thinking, I'm going to even lift my head a little bit just to massage that low back so I can get the low back down. And then just hold the very tops of your kneecaps with your fingers pointing towards your feet, and keep rolling side to side, but allow the knees to slowly come away from you. Just massaging different areas in your low back and your glutes until your arms are full length. Your feet just dangle there. A little pressure down through the knees, through the femur bone, into the hip socket. And then release the feet to the floor and go ahead and stretch out for Shavasana. And I'm going to give you an option here. If you want to, you can roll a blanket and lay on it so you get a little bit of a heart opener. If that feels, I want you to feel content though. So if it's gonna feel like a lot of stretch, then don't do it. Just do regular Shavasana. All about Santosa. And just make sure you have a little cush for your head too. It's not too low. Yeah, so your bum hangs off the end. Yeah, that's better. And find a grounded feeling. Utilize your breath. Let go with each exhale. Let go of muscle energy. Let go of any thoughts that are floating around. Let go of anything that's not serving you in the moment. Taking away from total relaxation, Santosa, contentment. Allow the earth to just hold you. you find that you don't want to be on the little rise anymore, just feel free to slide it out anytime. As you continue to relax, I'd like to share a reading from my book, Meditations from the Mat by Rolf Gates. And he was a wrestler and an army guy and an addict. And then he found yoga and now he's teaching and writing, and I love his little insights. And in this book, there's always a reading at the top, and then he kind of expounds on that. So the reading at the top is by Judith Lassiter, and she says, "We can easily practice Santosa in the beautiful moments and joyous experiences of our lives. But yogic theory asks us to be equally willing to embrace the difficult moments." So then Rolf says, "Personally, I think that practicing contentment in the beautiful moments is not a bad place to start. I've spent countless high points in my life fretting over this aspect or that aspect of the moment. Will it last? Is it real? Am I worthy? Blah, blah, blah. It has been an ongoing struggle for me to be content in the beautiful moments, to be still in success. I'm much better at setbacks. My childhood was a study in setbacks. I endured racism, abuse, and addiction. Paradoxically, my struggles taught me that God is with me, that I can trust the moment, trust the universe, and that tomorrow will in fact be another day. Although I have far less experience with things not falling apart, as I write these words, my life is all that I ever hoped it would be. And yet my challenge now is to practice Santosa. My yoga practice right now, all of it, postures, the prayers, the pranayama, the meditation, and the work off the mat, is devoted to being still while things are going well. My practice is devoted to things being enough. Santosa is the practice of being still with faith, with an open heart and an open mind. We have an opportunity to do this in the postures that we like and the postures that we don't like. Watch your reaction as you move from posture to posture. Where does your mind go when things are going well? Where does your mind go when things are hard? Can the moment be enough? Reconnecting your thoughts and your breath. Really appreciate the energy that your breath brings. When you're ready, you can start to move any way you want, small ways. Seeing, oh, do my hands still work? Do my feet still work? My neck able to move? And please draw your knees in, roll to the right side and push on up when you're ready. Just take your time. I was just thinking back to when I first started yoga and how very hard it was for me to find peacefulness and calm and contentment in Shavasana. It was really, really a very hard posture for me. My mind would just go. Now it's the best. Just bring hands to heart center. Thank you for bringing contentment, Santosa, to the house today, either online or in person. I appreciate it. And I bow to the beautiful light in each of you. Namaste. And just so you know, I'm teaching all the way through the end of the year. So, and I'm probably send out an email next week with some new, because I think these expire at the end of the year. So I'll have to send out new links for Zoom and stuff. So, but I think I'm going to be around. So I don't have many plans until February. I wish I had plans. Get out of here, but
February is a great month to leave.
yeah, it is. It is. Well, thank you guys.
Thanks, Lisa.
Have
Thank
a
you,
great
Lisa.
day. You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.